All right, all right, all right. It's Tuesday. You know what that means. Technology Tuesdays at 2 with Greg Russell and Jerry Franklin Poe. That's right, folks. We are back at it again. Back at it again, the dynamic duo. Greg, thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to join us. All those folks out here in the cyberspace on Facebook and YouTube. And this week, we got something special in store for you. Greg has carved out a strategic plan for helping us build forms on our websites. Now, I know that kind of sounds boring and dry, like forms. I don't want to fill out any forms. But what's so cool, and I've been working with Greg on this week. Actually, we are in the process right now of building a new form for a project that I'm going to be launching on Thursday and Friday. And we've been going through the behind the scenes stuff. And it's been extremely beneficial for me because I thought I knew a lot about creating forms. But the methodology that Greg has introduced me to has made this process so easy and so simple. But also at the same time, it has made it fashionable. So when I think about structure, I think about forms, function, and fashion. Forms, function, and fashion. We want the stuff to look good. We want it to be functional, and we want it to actually work the way it's supposed to. So form is the fact that it's actually working the way it's supposed to. Functional is easy to use. And then fashionable means it looks pretty when we actually create it. And as a person who is not what I would call a programmer or someone who specializes in building websites, what I've learned from Greg this week has helped me like tremendously in terms of creating something that I like the aesthetics of it, but also allows me to collect all the pertinent details that I want from the audience I'm going to be speaking to. So Greg, what are some of the key points a person should be looking for, thinking about when it comes into building forms for their site?
I think a lot of people, especially now, don't think about the contact form as a really important part of the website as they should, because contact forms have kind of taken a back seat to quote unquote opt-in forms, on websites. And there is a difference, and a contact form can be used in a whole various ways. And most people just think about having it on, the contact me page where they just enter their name, phone, or email and message and submit. And a lot of times, if you're not careful with how you set those up, those could be hit by a lot of spam boxes.
I know about that.
Yeah. Hey, Colin, what's up?
Colin.
Good to see you, bro. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it.
Colin Ray. Colin, where are you tuning in from? Put it in the chat box where you're from so people know where you are. Also, man, put in your website so folks know how to get in contact with you and tap into what you're doing and follow you as well, man. So in your mind, the things that you were sharing with me this week, you mentioned that forms could be used not just for the basic stuff that most people would be looking to do, but you could do like a lot more. Like there were things I didn't know in terms of how much information or what you can actually build into the structure. So are there like, how do I want to say it? Maybe like, are there like 3 or 4? Yeah, that's 4, right? That's 4, yeah. 3 or 4 forms that people should have. Like, are there some standard, if folks are going to go on their site now, a speaker, entrepreneur, solopreneur, or a coach, author, what forms do you recommend everyone should have? What type of forms?
Well, I think everyone should have the contact form because you want people to contact you. And a lot of times, we think about creating a form and we think about people who may not know us filling out the form for us to get their information. But you can use a contact form in different ways so that maybe you already spoke to this person, right? And you want to collect certain information from them. And when you said different industries, I'm thinking specifically maybe of like a real estate investor or someone in the real estate industry, and they need to collect information like about a house, and they need to know the address and the previous address and the previous landlord, and all that type of information. So you can create a form that has all that information in it, and you can get it when they fill it out. And because you're in contact with this person, like somebody who doesn't know you may not go and fill out all of that information, but you can set up that form. And then for the people who you already in relationship with, you can say, hey, go to this page and fill out all this information, and then you have it. So it's more than just a basic contact form. You can make it as detailed and elaborate as you want, and you can use it for when you need to collect information. Think about it as, all right, I need to collect information. This is what I'm going to use it for. Don't think about it as just people who don't know me are going to fill it out, because people who don't know you may only fill out, they only may give you their name and email address, right? They may not give you a whole lot more information. But for those who you're in contact with, your existing clients, you can create forms for you to collect the information you need to make it easier.
Right. And speaking of that, let's take a step back to help folks who may not even know what we're talking about. What is a form? Like, when I think of what you just described, in my mind, I'm seeing the form, or some of us might call it a questionnaire, right? Questionnaire or form is used to collect any data that you want to have about your clients, your customers, your audience, to help you build a database, because we know that in today's environment, information is key. The more you know about your client, the more you know about your customer, the more you know about your audience, the better you can serve them. I think that'd be a great way to say it.
Yep.
So if you want to be strategic as a business owner, Amazon is probably one of the best at this. When they collect all your information, your buying, your likes, whatever, so to make it easier for them to cater the experience to you, to the point where they'll let folks sell stuff on their site, and then that person doesn't always know who might have bought the product, because Amazon collects all the information from the person. Somebody buys your book and Amazon ships your book. You don't necessarily know who bought it. They just have the stuff stockpiled somewhere. You get a commission because it was sold, but Amazon were like, yeah, I'll pay you 70%, or I'll pay you whatever percentage, but I'm going to keep all their information. So information is really the new currency in the 21st century. The more you know about someone, the better it is. Hey, Mark, how you doing, brother? ATL in the house. ATL represent. Yeah. Dirty.
Thanks for tuning in, Mark. Appreciate it.
So back in the day, we would have what we call like paper forms, right? You fill out check boxes or collect people's information. Now we're doing it digitally, but the form is what we want to use to build a database, and that database could be any information that you want to collect about the people that you're serving.
Correct. Yep. And it could be, so when you went back to the basic question, what is a form? So, a form can just be, your first name and last name, and you fill that out online. It can be a choose, one of these, and you can check a box, and it's only going to allow you to choose one. It could be multiple choice, where you have different boxes and you can choose more than one, right?
Right.
So those are the basic parts of a form, but then it can get even more advanced. You can have things where people can submit or upload information, images, right? So if it was a graphics designer and he's working with a client and he says, send me your photo, instead of send me your photo and rely on email, he could have a form where they can fill out that form with their company name, their tagline or slogan. They can upload their photo and upload their image. And now all that data is stored in a database from that one form. It just makes it easier to have that information in one place.
And as you were going over that, Greg, what I thought about, one of the things I found interesting is sometimes people are looking at a website, filling out a form, but don't even know that it's actually a form that they're filling out, because they just think it's a regular web page that somebody built and put all those little parts in there with the drop-down menus and the radial buttons and the check boxes, uploading things, attaching things. And they don't really know what was used in order to create what they're seeing or what they're using. Right. And I think that's the difficulty. That right there is the difficulty that a lot of folks who, like myself, the end user, who want to create our own stuff, we have difficulty understanding how a person even got to what they're using. So like you look at it and you say, okay, I know what they used in order to create that. And I look at it and I'm like, well, that looks great. I want one of those too. And what a lot of folks don't know is the behind the scenes stuff, these tools that people are using to create something. Because in my mind, a lot of times I think it's harder to create something than it really is. It's actually easier, and I'm making it harder. Colin put something here in the comments about collecting information and how to protect it from hackers. Yeah, it's also important, and you have to have the security on the forms as well, so you protect it from people who are trying to hack and get the information. So in terms of, Greg, like referencing what Colin mentioned, the security and also the ease of usage, what would you recommend to folks who want to create a form for their website to collect information from their clients and their customers?
So when you say website, it's a whole lot of things there, but I'm going to get very specific and talk about one specific tool that I recommend. It's called Gravity Forms, and it is a WordPress plugin, and that means it's only going to work on a WordPress website. And as far as security, the security of the form depends on a couple things. One, since this particular one goes on your website, then your website needs to be secure. And if your website is secure, then that's half the battle right there. So you want to make sure that you're putting your forms on a secure website. And then the second part of it is adding what we call CAPTCHA. And we've all, as end users, probably experienced this, where you go to a form and they want you to, fill out the word or answer the question, what's 12 plus 5. And it's something that basically they want for humans to be able to do and not bots to be able to do. And so those two things together really help you secure your forms that you put on the internet.
And that's one of the ways what's it called again? It's called I know I've seen that it's CAPTCHA, right? How do you say it? Make sure I pronounce it.
It's a funny word. It's like CAP, C-A-P, and then TCHA, CAPTCHA.
CAPTCHA. I'm about to capture. So I know it from the little picture visual one. Like it'll say, check all the pictures that have like street lights or something in there. And then others we've seen where you have to like type in the actual letters that you actually see. It's like uppercase U, lowercase L, 5, 6, 7, something like that. To basically just to verify that it's an actual real person. Yep. And the security we know in today's environment, that's so critical. And gravity forms, for those, that's gravity as in, the law of gravity, when you step off a building, you fall type of situation. So gravity forms is what I've been using. So I will attest to what Greg is saying. As a non-programming type, gravity forms has been extremely easy. I was able to build my form probably like 15 minutes watching a Netflix movie with my wife and daughters. Like, I pulled out the laptop, started putting the form, and by the time, we got to the good part of the movie, I was already done. So that gravity form is definitely a winner in my opinion.
Yeah, it's not only easy, but it's functional. So with a form, a lot of the forms basically just send you the information via email.
Right.
What Gravity Forms does in addition to that is it stores that information in your WordPress admin area. So in the case that you may not have received the email, because I'm pretty sure, well, I've experienced times where people send me stuff and for whatever reason the internet gremlins eat it up, and I just never got it. And you never want that to happen on a form because they don't know that you didn't receive it.
Right.
So you want to make sure that you have it. And what Gravity Forms does is store that in a database so you can always log in and get that. And here's the other thing. Because it's stored back there, you can also change it. So let's say they gave you some information that isn't correct, and you're like, hey, this is what I have, and they're like, no, you can just change it back there as well. So now you have a database of information that you can also update if you need to. And these are little things that most people would never know about just collecting information on the internet.
And it's also possible to, because I was doing some research myself. Now you can correct me if I'm wrong. It's also possible to export that information out, the entries. You can take whatever the results are and export it out into a different file type, like an Excel version file type, to use it or manipulate it someplace else if you have other programs that you want to use outside of your WordPress site. But you'd have it stored there as like a backup for basically anytime you want to go in there to get the information.
Yeah, you can not only export it, but you can also connect it with so many other things. That's the one thing that's really awesome about Gravity Forms. You can make it not only a form, but you can make it an order form to collect payments if you want to. You can make it a quiz where you're quizzing people if you want to. You can make it a poll if you wanted to. And then it also connects with things like Zapier to make it connect with all sorts of other stuff. I mean, it connects with so many other things. So now instead of just having a form, you have something where you can really connect it with other applications to create the type of experience you want for your clients, customers, prospects.
And the versatility in that tool, that plugin, I thought was phenomenal. The versatility, when I looked at all the different things you could add to it to make things easier, or even like you could connect it to Dropbox. So if somebody wanted to upload something from Dropbox, they could do that right into your form. So that goes back to what you were saying about people who are doing graphic design. Someone might have some photos they want to use, and they could upload that to the form to make it easier for them to do the design work, or to collaborate between different clients.
Yep.
Now, are there any, I don't know what the word would be, like things people should look out for or be concerned with, or like best practices when it comes to using this tool?
Yeah, I would be very careful about using Gmails, Yahoo, and free internet accounts to be where the form gets sent from, because sometimes when the form is actually sending it, it's technically not sending it from a Gmail account or Yahoo account. And the receiver's email can sometimes identify that and flag it as spam, and you won't get the response. So in the past, that wasn't really much of a big deal,
right?
But now it's more of a big deal. A lot more internet service providers are very or have things to look for those type of things, those type of where it's not actually coming from the address that it says it's coming from. So you want to make sure you use email addresses that are not the free email addresses where you're telling that form to send it from.
Gotcha. Because it will get blocked, what you're saying.
Yep. And Colin says very strong passwords. Yes, that's another one. Use very strong passwords. And you can actually go to howstrongismypassword.com and see how fast a hacker can break your password. So yes, make sure you use very strong passwords on all your accounts. And I know Jerry and myself use a password management tool, LastPass. That's the one we use and recommend. So if you have issues with passwords, I highly recommend you check out LastPass. I mean, we could probably maybe do another Tech Tuesday on LastPass alone.
Right. Yeah. So I know this week, as I've been creating my form, the key would be like the fact that making it look pretty, not just the functionality that we talked about in the form itself, but have it be fashionable. So with the fact that Gravity Forms is a WordPress plugin, you can, I believe, embed it right into your page, right? And then on the page, whatever theme you're using in WordPress, you can now edit the page to tighten it up, make it look really, sweet and nice. Is that correct?
That is correct. It is, you embed it on a page, and it will take the fonts that are used in that page, and so it'll match the fonts. And there are some things that you can do to style it and make it look nice. And what I would like to do is I would like to I'm going to do a training, right? So for you guys who join the group, I can show you exactly how we style the Gravity forms to make it easy for you, because certain aspects of it are real easy, user-friendly, and other aspects are a little bit more challenging. And I have always been able to find ways to make the technical part easy, and I just have to show it to you. So if you want to see it actually in action, and if Jerry, you want to use yours, we can go in there and do it. And that's going to be in the members area. So if you're not a member of technologytuesday.com, go ahead there and join our Facebook group, and I'll put that in there most likely on Thursday. And if you have any questions when we're going about it, I'll answer those questions for you while I'm doing it. So that's what I'm going to do this Thursday. I hope to see you guys there.
Well, Thursday, they should. How do you want them to contact you, Greg, so they know, so you know who to expect, or is there some way that they want them to reach out to you so you know who's going to be there?
It's going to be in the group, so everybody
join the group.
Will get notified. Everybody in the group will get notified.
So go to technology. So if you're not a group member already, if you're not part of Technology Tuesday and the Entrepreneurs Digital Advantage group, so this is a Facebook group that Greg has put together for those who want to take their technical stuff, their digital stuff to the next level. Because remember, if you've been following us for the last couple of weeks, the whole focus of Technology Tuesday is to work smarter to make a big impact. So if you're looking at how do I, in my business, make a greater impact on the world and the people that I want to serve, then the tools that you're using are really essential. So our goal, our focus is with Technology Tuesday is more than just having what we consider to be tech. You know, the phones, the computers, the cameras, all that stuff, we look at that as tech. But there's another part to the tech, and that's really having practical knowledge and taking practical knowledge and applying it with practical application. So therefore you end up with practical solutions. And all we want to do is provide solutions to make the things that people seem or makes in their mind seem hard. A lot of times we get so caught up in the stuff that we're not good at, how to build a web page, how to create graphics, how to automate our systems. And that's stuff that I know personally, I only have like that much information. What I'm really good at is something over here when it comes to speaking, training, teaching people. That's what I'm better at. And I get taken away from that sometimes to try to go build this other stuff. So in order to make a bigger impact in the area where I'm stronger, that's where Greg comes into play. So if that is you, if you're the type of person like myself, it's like, man, I just get so caught up, and it's like a rabbit hole, or you know, like Alice in Wonderland, just get sucked down, and I'm like caught up in this stuff, and I want to create something, but every time I go to create something, it just seems like it's so much work. If you're going to be, if you want to make things easier for yourself, then you definitely want to join the group, the Entrepreneurs Digital Advantage, because the things that Greg has shown me have made a tremendous difference in terms of the ease of use and how I'm able to create stuff and get results a lot faster for myself and for my clients. So you definitely, if you're not a part of the group already, check out technologytuesday.com. We're going to be here for you every week, Greg and myself, sharing a little bit of the knowledge that I have, a lot of the knowledge that he has when it comes to the right tools, because the key is productive professionals. They always have the right tools, and they know how to use the right tools properly. If you're going to be a productive professional, and repeat it again, the productive professionals have the right tools and they know how to use the right tools properly. So you can have all the tools and everything that you want, but if you don't know how to set things up the right way, the tools aren't helping you. That reminds me of that show that used to come on in the 90s, what, Tool Time? Remember Tool Time with Tim Allen? He had all the right tools, man. He had every tool you could possibly, but he couldn't build anything. He couldn't make anything work Even though
More
he had all
power.
the right tools.
Yeah, we always want to add more power to something.
Yeah, always trying to add more power, right? It's more power, more power. He was always like grunting and barking and stuff, like more power. So that's why when I think of Technology Tuesday, I look at the word technology and it's really practical knowledge applied in a specified area. So practical knowledge plus practical application equals practical solutions. And that's our goal, to help you work smarter to make a bigger impact in your business, for your clients, and in their industry.
Yeah.
As we're coming to the close on this Technology Tuesday, Greg, is there anything else that you wanted to make sure we got out to the folks?
Well, I wanted to say thanks you guys for tuning in. Katrina, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you. Colin, I will definitely reach out. And yeah, man, my whole goal is to make technology easier for people to use and get the benefits from. And what I realized is, over the last 5 to 10 years, there has been an abundance of technology added, which now for someone starting out now is a lot harder for them to figure out how to make all this stuff work together and how to make it work for you without spending a whole lot of money and spending a whole lot of time and being really, really frustrated, because it will hit your pocket, take up your time, and leave you frustrated if you don't know the right tools to use for what you want to do. So if you guys ever have any questions about technology, about internet, websites, or anything like that, hit me up. I'm here. I would love to give back to anybody who has questions. So if you're watching this video on the replay or any other time and you have a question, feel free to hit me up and we can actually use those questions to build out more shows around it. So ask away. I'll be more than happy to help.
Awesome, man. And I know, speaking firsthand, when we first met each other, it's almost been 10 years ago, right? 10 years, something like that.
Yeah.
And, I remember where I was and the site that I had that was not great at all, and how much of an impact you've made on my business. And not only just from the technical side, but also strategically in terms of the practical business application. So what tools to use, but you also know the marketing. You have the marketing savvy that goes along with it. And that's really what key is. A lot of times when folks are out here in the marketplace, they might know the tools, but they don't know how to use those tools in a way that the average person who's not technical can use them easily, but also how to get the best marketing, the best sales, the best business strategies from those tools. If you don't know why the thing is needed for the business, it's like people just say, go out and get it. Like people say, go out and get Zoom. Everybody goes and gets it. But then it's like, okay, what do I do with it now? People go out and say, well, you should have Infusionsoft. What do I do with that now? I got go get Entrepreneur. Go get one of the was it contact something me or whatever it is. Go out there, get this thing, get this thing, get this thing. And it's like, well, I got it. And it's like, now what do I do with it? So having the tech and having the marketing savvy to go along with it has personally been a tremendous help for me to guide my way through the journey out here being an entrepreneur in the marketplace for almost 16 years now. So next week we're going to be here Tuesday, 2:00. Hopefully you'll be here with us. Same bad time, same bad channel. So, Greg, unless you have anything else, all I want to say is, folks, Thursday, Greg is going to be doing something special for us. So you definitely want to be here in the group. If you're not a member, technologytuesday.com. All those that are watching, Mark down in Atlanta, up there, Colin in New York, Katrina, everybody that was here, tuned in live, all those who might be watching it later, be safe, wash your hands, and stay in the house.
All right. I appreciate it, man. Look, man, I'll talk to you guys next week, and hopefully I will talk to you guys on Thursday for those of you guys who have questions. Jerry, thank you so much for co-hosting this with me. I really appreciate it, man.
Hey, man. Anything for you, brother. Appreciate it.
Take care, everybody. See you next week.